Now, we'll continue from classification of fungi. Classification of fungi. Since we have understand classification, we want to group fungi into different categories, and we understand the reasons, the characteristics of each of these classes. But however, we can classify fungi based on their taxonomy, classification based on taxonomy. We have two main groups of fungi. We have the true fungi, we have the false fungi, and we have the true fungi. But we are not going to talk about the false fungi. We are going to talk about the true fungi. So classification of the true fungi now. Classification of true fungi. We have one, the Oomycetes. Two, we have the Zygomycetes. We have the Ascomycetes, and we have the Basidiomycetes, and lastly the Pteromycetes. So these are the five main groups of true fungi. We can also classify based on nutrition. So when we say classification based on nutrition, we have one, the saprophytic fungi. We have the parasitic fungi. And we have the mutualistic fungi. So when we talk about classification of fungi, we can classify fungi based on this. But today, or right now, we are going to start from the classification of true fungi. So when we talk about the classification of true fungi, we are going to understand the characteristics of these five main classes. So let's start from the Oomycetes. That is the first class, Oomycetes. Alright. So when we talk about Oomycetes, these are fungi that doesn't have a definite septa or definite, mycelium. They don't have a definite mycelium. So indefinite mycelium. That is, the structure of mycelium is indefinite. So when we talk about indefinite mycelium type, when we talk about mycelium, we can have septate and unseptate mycelium. That is the structure of the cell wall or the body structure. But this time around, Oomycetes, that is the actively growing one. When they are young, the actively growing one have aseptate mycelium. Aseptate, that is when they are actively growing. Actively growing have aseptate mycelium. Possess aseptate mycelium or non-septate mycelium. Exactly. But when we talk about the other phase, when they are in the reproductive stage, that's when they get to the reproductive stage, the septa develop. So septa develop on reproduction. Septa develop during reproductive stage. So that is why we say they don't have a definite mycelium. So you have to understand that Oomycetes, when they are young, they are aseptate. But as they, grow, as they develop to the, maturity, reproductive stage, it becomes septa. Septa develop. And septas are cross walls that divide the body. Then, when we talk about Oomycetes, they also carry out sexual and asexual reproduction. So when you talk about asexual reproduction, they carry out asexual reproduction by production of spores in the sporangia. Asexual reproduction by production of spores. That is the asexual reproduction. Production of spores in sporangia. So they produce spores in the sporangia. That's how they carry out their own asexual means. Then this also carry out sexual means. The sexual means of reproduction is fusion of gametes. They have the oogonia as well as the antheridia. Sexual reproduction also occurs by fusion of the oosphere and anterozoid. So when you talk about the oosphere, this is the gamete produced from the female sex organ, while the antheridia is the gamete produced from the male sex organ, antheridia. So after this, there will be fusion of gamete and it will produce another. So they carry out sexual and asexual reproduction. Then we say that this group of fungi are mostly parasites. They are mostly parasites, but few are weak. They are mostly saprophytes. Mostly saprophytes. They are mostly saprophytes, but few are weak. They are weak parasites. Few are weak parasites. We all know that fungi are classified as parasitic, saprophytic, or mutualistic as well. But we are not saying that this group of fungi have some species that are saprophytic. In fact, most are saprophytic, but we still have few that are parasitic. That is why we say that they are mostly saprophytic, while few are parasitic. So, examples of human ceties now. When you talk about human ceties, they are divided into two orders. We have saprolegionales divided into two. We have the saprolegionales, e.g. saprolegionea, while we have the Peronospora, Saprolegional and Peronospora. So the Peronospora produce Peronospora. So that is why we have those groups, Saprolegional and Peronospora. So those are the two groups. Then we have another group now, Zygomycetes. Now we have understand the characteristics of Oomycetes. So let's talk about the Zygomycetes now. The Zygomycetes they have aseptate mycelia or non-septate mycelia. They have non-septate mycelia. So you have to understand that their body structure is not secreted by pus, the Zygomycetes, and they also produce resting spore called zygospore. Produce resting spore. That's why they are called Zygomycetes. Zygospore. So they produce zygospore. Alright? And these groups are mostly saprophytic fungi. They are mostly saprophytic fungi. So this group also carry out, we said that they produce spores. That is how they carry out. They also produce spores in the conidia or sporangia. They produce spores in the conidia or sporangia. That is their asexual reproduction. Then the sexual reproduction occur by conjugation, fusion of gametes. Sexual reproduction occur by conjugation. Or fusion of gametes. Then examples of Zygomycetes are the Mucormycelo. We have Rhizopus, Rhizopus stolonifer. You have Rhizopus nigricans. These are examples. These are examples of the normal mucor, the Rhizopus. These are examples of zygomycetes. Then we move to ascomycetes. Ascomycetes. Then we'll talk about basidiomycetes and deuteromycetes. So let's talk about ascomycetes now. So when you talk about the ascomycetes, the ascomycetes are, a little bit advanced, and they have a septate mycelia. They have a septate mycelia. Septate mycelia. That is, their body structure is divided by a cross wall. That's why we say they have a septate mycelia. And they also have an elaborate fruiting body. Their fruiting body is called ascocarp. Fruiting body is called, they have fruiting body called ascocarp. Ascocarp. So this ascocarp is their fruiting body. And the ascocarp produce a sac which is called ascus. So the ascocarp is elaborate and it produces a sac called ascus. Alright, produce ascus. In plural, asci. So this ascus is the one that houses the spores. So the ascus is the ascus, or the asci is the sac that produces the spores. Asci produce the spores, and the spores are called ascospores. Ascospores. Those are the spores. They are the spores produced by, ascomycetes. They are called ascospores. So these spores give rise to another organism. So that's why we say that they produce ascospores. So ascomycetes also they have elaborate fruiting body, as we have said, and they carry out sexual and asexual reproduction. So this ascus can be in different shape. Yes, the ascus can, the ascus can appear in different shape. Like there are 3 types of shape in which it can appear. It can be apotecium. When we say it's apotecium, it can be perithecium, and it can be cleistocesium. So we said that the ascus, the ascocarp, which is the fruiting body, can appear in 3 different, structures depending on the species. And when it appears like this, it is open in a cup shape. That's why it is apotecium. But when it is perithecium, that means it is open in oval shape. I believe you know the meaning of cup shape. When it opens in cup shape, so the apotecium looks like that. But when it is in oval shape, that means it looks like this. It is open in oval shape. But when you say it is oval shape, then we have the last one is cleistocesium, which is closed completely closed. So these are the ways in which the ascocarp can appear, because it is inside there that we have the spores, and the spores are produced. They are endogenous. So now we are talking about the examples. When you talk about the ascomycetes, examples of the ascomycetes are the penicillium. We make penicillin from penicillium. We have aspergillus. We have neurospora. Saccharomyces. These are unicellular yeast. That is an example of, ascomycetes. They are unicellular. So when you talk about ascomycetes, those are ascomycetes. Now we move to the next group, which are called basidiomycetes. The basidiomycetes now are the most advanced group of fungi. The basidiomycetes are the most advanced group of fungi. Basidiomycetes. We have the most advanced group of fungi. Let me put it there. Of fungi. So when you say basidiomycetes, we have two groups of basidiomycetes. We have the ones that have elaborate fruiting body. The ones that have elaborate fruiting body are called homobasidiomycetes. Homobasidiomycetes. And these groups are the ones that carry out saprophytic mode of life. The homobasidiomycetes are saprophytic, or they are saprophytes, the homobasidiomycetes. An example is the mushroom, e.g. mushroom. Mushroom is a basidiomycetes, in fact, a homobasidiomycetes. Then we also have the other group that have no elaborate fruiting body. That is the heterobasidiomycetes. So those ones don't have elaborate fruiting body. And these groups are usually the parasitic ones. Those are the parasitic, basidiomycetes, the heterobasidiomycetes. An example is Puccinia. So those are examples of basidiomycetes. So these basidiomycetes also have the ones that have elaborate fruiting body. Their fruiting body is called basidiocarp. Fruiting body is called basidiocarp. So that is their fruiting body. So this basidiocarp produce basidia. So these basidiocarp, just like the way ascocarp produce ascus or asci in ascomycetes. So the fruiting body, which is the basidiocarp, alright, produce the basidia. Basidiocarp produce basidia. So up to like 4 basidia. So the basidia are the sac-like material or shape or structure that produce the spores. So the spores are called basidiospores. So the basidia produce the basidiospores. So why in basidiomycetes they don't, they carry out both sexual and asexual reproduction, but ascomycetes prefer to carry out sexual reproduction. We are still going to talk about the difference between ascomycetes and basidiomycetes. But basidiomycetes, the basidia produce the basidiospore produce the basidia. Then the basidia produce the spores, which is the basidiospores. So basidia produce the spores called basidiospore. So the basidiospore are the spores of basidiomycetes, and they are produced by the basidia, the sac-like material that produce the spores. So when you talk about basidiomycetes, those are the characteristics of basidiomycetes. I believe we have talked about the examples, which include Puccinia as well as the mushroom. Then we can also talk about the last group now, which is the deuteromycetes. Deuteromycetes are not completely fungi. They don't have the complete life cycle of fungi. They only have asexual reproduction. They don't have sexual reproduction. So they are termed imperfect fungi. So they are called fungi imperfecti. They are called fungi imperfecti, or the imperfect fungi. The reason why they are called imperfect fungi is because they don't have no sexual life cycle. No sexual life cycle. Only asexual reproduction is present. Only asexual reproduction is present. That's why they are called, fungi imperfecta. So this group of fungi mainly consists of the Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes group. They consist of both Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes that do not have sexual reproduction. So they are just drafted from Basidiomycetes and Ascomycetes, but they don't have sexual reproduction. So examples of Deuteromycetes or fungi imperfecta is Fusarium. Okay, they also produce spores, asexual spores. They produce asexual spores. So those are the classification of fungi. Then we can also talk about difference between Basidiomycetes and Ascomycetes. Just like the way we can see the characteristics on the board, when we talk about the differences, you outline that in Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes, you see that the fruiting body of Basidiomycetes, Ascomycetes is called ascocarp, while the fruiting body of Basidiomycetes is called basidiocarp. So we are comparing Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes. So the fruiting body of Ascomycetes is called ascocarp, while the fruiting body of Basidiomycetes is called basidiocarp. 1. 2. The spores produced by Ascomycetes is usually exogenous, while the spores produced by Basidiomycetes is usually endogenous. Then we also have the shape. So when we talk about the Ascomycetes, the Ascomycetes are usually, we have some that are unicellular, we have some that are multicellular. But in Ascomycetes, in Basidiomycetes, they are all multicellular. We have here their unicellular member, when we have multicellular member, while in Basidiomycetes, they are all multicellular. So those are the differences between Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes.